Hi everybody, Imani Coles here. I just wanted to share how to love your life. I believe that we live in a world where it's difficult to love your life because it's constantly being compared to other people's lives and to the fact that they're on a beach while you're at work, or they're eating an amazing meal while you're eating whatever's left over in your pantry. And there's this constant thing where it's like, all right, I would love my life if I had theirs, or I would love my life if I had X, Y, and Z, but I don't. So I just wanted to share a few statements that can help you to really thrive and enjoy your life. So a couple of thoughts. One, you're only going to get one life on this earth, so you may as well ascribe as much value to it as possible. Please don't live a life where you get to be 80 years old and you spent the whole entire thing complaining about what's going on in your world, only to look up and realize that the sun is going to be setting on the timeline that you have on this earth and you wasted it, you know? Number two is that your life is good enough the way that it is, and there are people that would love your life, different components that you have in your own life, such as if you have a job, there are people that would love a job. If you live in America, there are people that would love to make their way over here. If you are in good health, there are people who would love to be in good health. They would love to not need medicine or a wheelchair or whatever else it is that they need. They would love to just be in good health like you are. I mean, there's all sorts of things that people would really love to have, and your life is more of a blessing than you may realize. So I want to give you 3 ways to develop a positive outlook on your life. 3 ways to actively love your life. Number 1, I would say guard your life. Protect it against things that would cause you to be disappointed. So for example, some people are very inspired by watching Travel Channel or following accounts on social media where people buy $1 million homes and things like that. So some people are inspired by that. Some people are inspired by watching people achieve their fitness goals, etc. Some people, however, are unmotivated by those things, and they feel like they're comparing and they're losing already, and they yearn for the ability to be able to do the things that all the people that they're looking at can do. And looking at that type of content makes them feel like their own life isn't good enough, like their own life isn't exciting. I should be on a plane, I should be on a beach, I should be in an infinity pool somewhere, I should be married with kids, or I should be X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. If looking at certain content makes you feel like your life is not good enough, simply unfollow it. And it doesn't make you a bad person, it's just that you need to protect yourself. I mean, you also need to protect yourself from opinions and Debbie Downers and negative Nathans, or whatever they call the male version of that. If you speak to people who constantly ask questions that you maybe can't answer, and it makes you feel bad about your life, maybe you shouldn't have life progress conversations with those people. Some examples of those questions would be, when are you going to start working? When are you going to go back to school? When are you going to school? When are you doing this? How's this going? Why aren't you doing this? I think it's great to have people who can hold you accountable. So I'm not saying that you should live in isolation, for example, and that you should ignore your parents' phone calls and things like that. But the majority of the communication that you participate in should be positive. It should be uplifting. It should be communication that motivates you to move toward your goals and stand up for yourself. Basically, our influences affect us so much more than we may realize. So we have to take charge of what those influences are and just be very careful. I've learned recently that thoughts affect your body at a cellular level. At a cellular level, literally, if you're thinking negatively, it can impact your immune system or your mentality or your ability to sleep. There are millions of Americans that rely on sleep medication just to get a good night's sleep. So I think it definitely has something to do with our thoughts and our influences and what we consume, perhaps subconsciously throughout the day. So you need to protect that. Number 2 is fill your life with gratefulness and positive influences. So while you're guarding against negative ones, fill it with positive ones. Fill it with conversations with people who are where you want to be in life. So if you meet someone that is in the field that you would like to get in, see if you can network with them. See if you can maybe send them an email or connect with them in some way, because that will inspire you. Hearing the journey of people who are where you'd like to be in life can inspire you that you can do it too in your financial bracket or in your from your neighborhood, from your background, and so on. So definitely connecting with people who are where you would like to be in life is a wonderful thing to do. Listen to or tell yourself affirmations that are positive, that help you to see that you're on the road to something great. You're on the road to becoming all that you want to be. So I think, things like taking a deep breath and looking in the mirror, telling yourself, all right, you are doing your best and your best is good enough. You woke up today, you're putting one foot in front of the other, and that is a great first step. That's a step that some people are not taking. As you study, as you do the mundane things of life, you are propelling yourself forward toward your goals and your dreams. Taking care of yourself, exercising, eating healthy are all ways that you build into the dream that you want to see one day. Because what's the point of achieving the dream that you want to see if you can't live long enough to really enjoy it due to poor health decisions? So things like that, where it's like, all right, man, I want to go be a Barnes & Noble bestseller or New York Times bestseller, but my house is horrendous and I need to clean my house. So it's hard to feel like what you need to do right now has anything to do with what you like to do or who you'd like to become. But it really is all connected. You really do need the discipline of today to carry you into your dreams for tomorrow. And number 3, my final tip would be, it would just be to I'm trying to figure out how to word it, so pardon the silence. Okay, so I guess part 3 would just be to actively release stress. Stress has a way of just leaking into every area of our lives. I mentioned it earlier, as it may relate to our thoughts and making it difficult to sleep and so on, but I recently began to practice just actively taking some time, whether that's 30 minutes or more, to just release my stress. And it's been amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, when I say release stress, some people do that through playing video games or watching movies or through experiences. And I think those things are really great ways to distract you. But what I've noticed is that those things, though they may distract me, they don't help me to release my stress. They just help me to focus on something else. So as soon as the movie's over, I'm stressed again. What I've been doing is taking some time to just breathe, listen to calming music, perhaps speak certain affirmations of my life, or listen to affirmations that are very positive and comforting. I've been spending a lot of time in prayer, where for me, I pray to God, the one true and living God, not the universe or cosmic thing. And it really helps me because the Bible says I can cast my cares onto him because he cares for me. So I can go into prayer with a heavy heart and leave feeling light and free. I've left my stress in another place, and I'm able to now go ahead and tend to my family and tend to my today's to-do list without the burden of that stress. So that has really been helpful for me. Some people like to do things like yoga, meditation, journaling is amazing. But I just believe that releasing stress is the act of almost physically taking everything that you're stressed about and putting it in another place. So I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. I believe that your life is good enough just the way that it is, and continually working toward who and what you'd like to see, who you'd like to be, and what you'd like to see your life become will help you to love the life that you're currently living, because you'll know that the life that you're currently living is just temporary. You're going to be in the season for just about however long a period of time, and then you're going to move into a new season. So if you're a student, eventually you will no longer be a student. If you are, working toward becoming an entrepreneur, eventually you will be an entrepreneur. So it's not that you despise your current season. You realize that your current season is helping you to build toward the next one. So you need to have a positive perspective now. You need to see the good in what's going on in your life now, and in disappointments and things like that, because you're going to always have disappointments. So determining how to appropriately deal with stress, disappointments, things that seem to take a long time that you're waiting for, interpersonal relationships, things like that, are really great ways to really thrive right where you are. And please know that you will be taking all of those skills, all of those lessons with you into the future. So do not despise where you are right now. Do not despise who you are right now, because it's all going to come together into a miraculous picture. I hope this has been encouraging to you, and I hope that you have an awesome day.